Okay, good morning everyone. Shalom Aleichem. Baruchim Habaim. We're continuing Mishnah Berurah, Daf Hashavua. We're up to Siman Nun Daled, Seif Gimel, or middle of Seif Gimel. And we're talking about under what circumstances may one speak between Yishtabach and Yotzar. So yesterday we learned that perhaps for Tzarchet Tzibur or lifts like Tzedakah, it's mutter lahafsik. The Ramah says from here the minhag developed that you make a mishabach for a chayla, or if somebody needs a din, l'tzarech tzibur, it's permitted. And then when you go back to daven, the shel tzibur says some sukkah de zimra, and then you say kaddish on it, because you never say kaddish without some kind of praise in front of it. Okay. The Mishnah Berurah said yesterday very interestingly that if you didn't say psukim, you can't say kaddish. You just go straight to Barchu. Okay. V'lechein maschilin arvis b'loi kaddish. That's how we start Ma'ariv without kaddish. V'chein mishal hoyloi tzitzis tefillin. Let's say someone didn't have talis or tefillin. Ve'yaviyoloi ben yishtabach lekaddish yachal anicham ulevarch alim. You could put them on and make a bracha on it. Aval ben kaddish lebarchu, but between kaddish and barchu, lo yavsik v'shum davar. You should not interrupt for anything. So in other words, between Kaddish and Barchu, you cannot put on talis and tefillin and make a bracha. Certainly you should not interrupt after the Shliach Tzibur says Barchu before Yotzar. Says the Mishnah Berurah, Sivkatan Yod Arvis B'loi Kaddish, Ein Lekaman B'Siman Samach Tes Masha Kasavnu Sham Bazeh. Where he says that even though in some places they say a few psukim and then Kaddish before Barchu, this is just a minhag. It's not. We're not makbid to do this. Okay, fine. V'chein mi shalai. Let's say someone doesn't have talis or tefillin. The chozeh hu tzarech mitzvah. This is all in need of a mitzvah. Kein mutter lahafsik. Therefore, it's permitted to interrupt. La'achar shagamar berchas yishtabach. After you finished yishtabach. V'heviyulai, and they brought it to him. Bein liyachid, whether for an individual. Uvein l'shel tzibur, or for the shel tzibur. V'afal pi dignayhu l'tzibur lahamten. Even though it's disparaging for the tzibur to have to wait for the shel tzibur to put on his talis and tefillin, there's no alternative. Shari, it's permitted. In this situation, the shel tzibur, let's say after yishtabach, and he's putting on talis and tefillin before the kaddish, he doesn't have to say psukim. Why the shia mu'atasi? It's only a small delay. So, again, the scenario is where the chazan says yishtabach, the chazan puts on talis and tefillin, then you go straight to kaddish, you don't have to say more psukim. V'nira, de biyachid mayri, ba'oifen shia yachal ligmar, hanachas talis and tefillin, koidem shiagia hashatz, la'ameni hishmei rabba, u'barchu. It would seem that by a yachid, we're talking about where he could finish putting on talis and tefillin before the shots gets to ameni hishmei rabba, or barchu. Because think about it, in the scenario where an individual is putting on talis and tefillin, meanwhile the shel tzibur is going, he's going to be saying iskadel v'iskadel shmei rabba. He's going to get, and now the guy putting on talis and tefillin is going to be stuck and is not going to be able to answer ameni hishmei rabba. He's going to be between shel yad and shel rosh. You're not allowed to put yourself in a situation where you're not going to be answering ameni hishmei rabba. Or it's talking about a shekvar shama kaddish ubarchu. Dilav hachi haloi kaimelon b'simin chafei the asr lahafsik beina shel yad shel rosh. You're not to interrupt between the shel yad and shel rosh. Afil anis ameni hishmei rabba barchu. Elo shoysek v'shoymeya u'mechavein l'ma she'omrim. So you say, okay, so I'll do that. I'll put on talis, and when he gets up to ameni hishmei rabba or barchu, I'll be silent and I'll listen. I'll do that. No, v'zeh ein nachayin lasos ken l'chadchila. You're not supposed to do this l'chadchila. You should not l'chadchila be yotzei this way and rely on shamei ka'ina Meaning you're not supposed to put yourself in a situation where the way you're fulfilling Tvarim Shabbat is through Shemei Koina. Visit, okay. Better the way to put on the tefillin until the shots finishes Barchu. Then put it on. I would humbly say that maybe Bisman Hazeh it's different. That's because back in the day, in the times of Chavetz Chaim, they davened at a normal pace. But if you're going to wait to put on talis and tefillin after Barchu, you will not be davening Shemona Esrei with the tzibor, which I think would have precedence over not saying Barchu yourself. In other words, I would think it's better to be Yotzeish Barchu and Amen Yishmer Rabba Shemei Koina and daven Shemona Esrei with the tzibor, as opposed to actually saying Barchu yourself and not davening Shemona Esrei with tzibor. So again, Chas v'Shalom, I'm not arguing. I was just saying Bisman Hazeh, where the davening is so fast, it would change. I would say yes, it does change. I would say that would be the first consideration. Okay, between Kaddish and Barchu, you should not interrupt. Ratzaloymar Misha shehischal Kaddish, from the time the Chazan starts Kaddish, the HaKaddish the Barchu gam kin shaykh, because the Kaddish is shaykh to the Barchu. It's interesting. Let's say the Dirshu points out you had a minyan for the start of Kaddish. By the end of Kaddish, the minyan is gone. You could still say Barchu, because Kaddish and Barchu is inyan echad. It's all one inyan. The bein Kaddish to Barchu, dinay l'chol mili k'bein haprakim. Between Kaddish and Barchu, it has the same status as bein haprakim. The takeoff achar Barchu, and immediately after Barchu, even though you didn't start Berurah, you have a ke'emtza haparak. That's like in the middle of a parak. So it's actually more chamor. Between Kaddish and Barchu is ke'bein haprakim. Between Barchu and Kaddish and Yotzar is ke'emtza haparak. By the way, by Mariv, also between Barchu and Asher B'var Maravim is also ke'emtza haparak. You see, sometimes people have invented a halacha that there's no halacha in how to talk after Barchu. You're allowed to talk after Barchu as long as they didn't start Birchas Kriya Shema. It's mamish pink fakert. Once you heard Barchu, it's not even be'emtza haparak. It's not even bein haprakim. It's considered be'emtza haparak. Demisham ve'elachu kas chalas yoitzer. Once Barchu is over, it's like you started yoitzer. Ki ikar kavanas hashatz. The intent of the shots, Masha Omer, Barchu es Hashem. Hi, nu, everyone, bless Hashem. So you got to get started. It's an invitation. Let's go. Everyone, get your act together. Wake up. Okay, you're half asleep, but let's go. Barchu. So it's like it's an invitation to start Berchas Yoitzer. Therefore, someone, you ready for this? Someone who comes late, or someone who's lagging behind, and when the shot says Barchu, he's up to Psuke de Zimra, he's mevatel takanas hatfila. So here's my question. What about me? I like to go ahead, because I want to be able to daven Shemona Esrei with the tzibor. And when the Chazan says Barchu, I'm saying Kadosh, Kadosh, Kadosh after he says Barchu. Are you allowed to do that? It's probably not ideal, but it's even less ideal not to daven Shemona Esrei with the tzibor.
What did Rabbi say is the problem if you're in the middle of the Zimra? What is it you're about?
Because the Chazan saying, let's go, Rabbi Ed, say Yoitzarar, and you're saying after Toiv Hashem Lakov Rachma V'Kol Masav. Basically, Barchu is an invitation to start Yoitzarar, so you need to start Yoitzarar.
I think what Shlomo Zalman says,
Yeah.
if you answer Barchu in the middle of Pesukei de Zimra, you have to have in mind you're not accepting that invitation.
Oh yeah? Or maybe the pshat is, it's like, I'll give you a mashal. Somebody called me yesterday, a neighbor. He's out of town. He wanted me to open up his house to a worker that's coming in. So I said, no problem, just remind me. So miraculously, I actually remembered, and I opened it up. And then he texted me a few minutes later to remind me. I said, beat you to it, right? So maybe if you start ahead, when the chazan says you're invited, I say, shkoyach, I appreciate it. I'm already here. I appreciate the invitation. I'm here already. But if a guy's lagging behind, what are you going to say? I'll make it. Don't wait up for me. I'll be there soon. Okay, but basically that's an important understanding that Barchu is an invitation. And the ideal situation would be that you accept the invitation and you do what you're being ordered to do.
Not to say the minimum sugzimmer, right?
What?
Not saying, we still have the minimum of sugzimmer. We're not saying to skip.
No, right, correct. Right. In other words, you can skip, but you're really not doing the right. You're not putting yourself in the right situation.
Come early enough. That's what.
Yeah. No, but I'm getting anxious about whether it helps to come too early.
Well, maybe we use your headset that is manager where they daven so fast. Maybe.
Yeah, that's why I do it, but I guess it's still not ideal. Alkein bein yachid uvein shatz im loy nizdamin loy talis ad shehischal kaddish. Therefore, an individual or a she'al tzibor, if he doesn't have a talis ad shehischal kaddish, yachal esatif boy tekef aval loy yivarich ad la'achar hatfila. Should not make a bracha until after davening. Va'az yimashnish by v'yivarich. Utfilin im nizdamin loy koydem barchu. Tefillin, if it came before Barchu, yachal levarich aleim, you could make the bracha. It sounds like talis, you could make the bracha after yishtabach, but not after kaddish. Tefillin, you could. L'fi ma sheskimu achreinim b'siman samach vav diyuchal levarich ala tefillin bein haprakim. So it sounds like talis you could make after yishtabach, but not after kaddish. Tefillin you could do after Kaddish. What's the chiluk? The Dirshu says, tzitzis is not a chayvas haguf. If you don't have a talis, you're pater. So you could say Shema without tzitzis. Therefore the bracha is a hefsek. Mashen kein tefillin is a chayvas haguf. And also if you say Shema without tefillin, it's like meyad eda sheker. So therefore, it's not a hefsek.
What does that have to do with the bracha? You're putting on tzitzis, you're doing the mitzvah.
Well, since you have an obligation to do this mitzvah, the bracha is more.
In the mitzvah, you could be out to the mitzvah without it.
You're right. The bracha is not ma'akev, but the bracha is ideal. So, therefore, since I'm supposed to be doing this mitzvah now, it will come along with the bracha. Mashen kein tzitzis. You can't say I'm supposed to be doing this. It's a nice thing to do, but I don't have to be doing this. If the tefillin didn't come until you began Barchu, shuv lo yuchal levarch aleim. You cannot then make the bracha. Elo yenichem beloy bracha. You put them on without a bracha. Sheyagia koidem ahavaraba. When you get to before avaraba, you mashmesh bahen v'yivarch aleim v'ayin besamach. Okay. One more halacha. Sivkatan yadal. Let's finish up the siman. So the Mechaber, the Ramah says that if tzitzis or tefillin came between Ishtabach and Kaddish, you could put them on and make a bracha. Between Kaddish and Barchu, you should not interrupt for anything, except for we saw in the Mishnah Berurah tefillin. Certainly not after Barchu. This is mashma, even the individual should not be mafsik v'ayin b'sivkatan hakoydim. Legabe talis and tefillin, not to make the bracha. V'nir dechol zeh daf g'bavin shemai b'fnim, dahainu shekvar gomar berchas yishtabach, you already finished yishtabach, v'oimer lahascha berchas yotzer or, and you're ready to say yotzer or. If you're lagging behind, and certainly if you just showed up in the shul, you want to daven in order. Then you don't have a din of Emsa Perek. A guy who just rolls into shul and he hears Barchu does not have a din of Emsa Perek. And now I want to speak out what Rabbi Yeager mentioned. Someone who's in the middle of Psukei de Zimra and he hears Barchu, Rav Shlomo Zalman Paskins is Halicha Shlomo Perek Vav Zvar Chaf, be mechavein explicitly that you're not answering Barchu al Seder Atfila, meaning you're not accepting the invitation. Otherwise, listen to this. Otherwise, it's not that you have to start Yotzarar, but then you have a din of Be'emtza HaPerek, and you're now to say Psukei de Zimra. Because you're being ordered to say Yotzarar. So if you don't have anything in mind, you're done. You can't say Psukei de Zimra. Okay. Now, I think it's a chiddush because the Mishnah Berurah is not mashma that way. The Mishnah Berurah doesn't say, the Mishnah Berurah doesn't say that you need to have this in mind, but that's what Shlomo Zalman says. According to everyone, you can put on talis and tefillin and make a bracha. Va'ayin b'hagois hagoin Reb Chaim Sanzer. Reb Chaim Sanzer asks on the Rama that why does this invitation of Barchu make you not able to put on talis and tefillin? So the says the Chavetz Chaim, I can answer Reb Chaim Sanzer's kasha that if you're up to the shots and the shots says Barchu and you're going to be mekayim his words, then you can't put on talis and tefillin. But I would say, Rabbi, according to Rabbi Shlomo Zalman, it comes out another chiddush that I don't think he's saying. But what if, like this, I'm up to Barchu, and I don't have talis and tefillin, and I want to put on talis and tefillin? Could I be mechavein? I don't want to be bound by this Barchu that I shouldn't be able to make a bracha on talis and tefillin. The same way, if I come late, says Rabbi Shlomo Zalman, I should be mechavein. I don't want to be bound by the Barchu. What if I didn't come late? I just don't have talis and tefillin. Can I pull the same kavana in order to allow me to make the bracha now and not have to wait until after the Shemana Esrei? That's my shaila. Okay, everyone. Thanks for joining today. We'll continue tomorrow. Siman Nun Hey Dinei Kadesh. Shkayach.
Recording stopped.